On the show today, we're talking the Outlaw team with something to prove and a ton of Thursday racing coming up. Let's go. It's Thursday, June 15th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is Dirt Tracker Daily. As we get into what are now the months of money in the sprint car world, I want to spotlight one team and one driver today that I think we probably shouldn't be sleeping on. The main guys, if you talk about Brad Sweet, David Gravel, Carson Macedo, Rico Abreu, Kyle Larson, Anthony Macri, Brent Marks, and on, all of those guys will get plenty of pub in the coming weeks and months as we get into things like Huset's, like the Million, like the Knoxville Nationals. But I feel like this guy could easily win some big cash at places like Huset's and Knoxville and Eldora. And that guy is James McFadden. It was only a few months ago that the Roth 83 team was fined, docked points, and booted from 4 World of Outlaws races for failing a tire test at Peevely. They returned to the Outlaws in May, and since Atomic on May 26th, they've been pretty damn good. 7 straight top 10 finishes, a win at Lawrenceburg, a second at River Cities, which could have been a win, and 2 top 6 runs at Knoxville this last weekend. This team feels like one with something to prove, and at this point, with the championship completely out of the question, the only thing that matters right now is race wins. After Friday at Knoxville, McFadden was interviewed by the Always Race Day guys sporting a cut-down beard. It was kind of jarring almost. He said the, quote, tire penalty was all bullshit and just lit a bit of a fire in everyone on this team's ass. And the numbers really show that. On top of what I just mentioned, they also have the best average finish over the past 5 races with the Outlaws. 4 wins on half miles, a strong recent weekend at Knoxville, and laps led at Huset's a year ago, 2 second-place finishes. These guys look like they could be peaking at the right time, and they are motivated. We'll see what J-Mac and Roth can do this weekend at Beaver Dam. One other World of Outlaws note for you. We talked yesterday on the show about the possibility of Carson Macedo back in the car as early as this weekend at Beaver Dam with the Outlaws, and the team confirmed it yesterday effectively on social media. So Macedo won't miss any races and will be able to stay in the fight with Brad Sweet and David Gravel after that Knoxville crash. Ohio Sprint Speedweek gets started back up again tonight at Atomic Speedway. They were off on Wednesday, and then the Tuesday show at Sharon was rained out. Zeb Wise, Danny Dietrich, and Tyler Courtney have won the first 3 races, and right now Zeb has a 2-point lead on Sunshine in the week-long points. Dietrich won't continue, though, for the rest of the week as he had a death in the family and returned home to Pennsylvania after the Wayne County show on Monday. Kyle Larson won at Atomic just a little over a month ago with the All-Stars, while Justin Peck and Cole Duncan had victories there in 2022. Sounds like we could see Peck tonight and for the rest of Speedweek. After tonight, the All-Stars head to Eldora on Friday and Portsmouth on Saturday. That Eldora race is $12,000 a win, and it's the final chance to get on the track before the Million in July. I think that could be a big draw for teams to wanting to get in some extra track time. And that Portsmouth finale is more than $22,000 to win, so I think car count should be strong the next few nights. At this point, Zeb and Rudine are the closest championship challengers to Tyler Courtney in that NOS 7BC. Those guys will have to try and continue to match Sunshine's pace, so we could easily be looking at 3 straight titles for Courtney. Tonight's Atomic show is live over on Flow Racing. Summer Nationals is off and rolling as well. We had 2 good races last night at Peoria. 40 late models, 18 modifieds were on the property. I mentioned yesterday that that Hunt the Front's Joseph Joyner was listed by the series as a Week 1 participant. But as several pointed out in the comments, the team decided to head home following Monday night at Kokomo. I missed their Facebook post about it. They had that nasty crash at Eldora that collected Brandon Overton, and their main card looked like it was hurt pretty good from the contact. With several Hunt the Front Series races coming up in the next couple of weeks, into July, I'd guess we probably won't see them try and run back to the Midwest for any of these Summer Nationals races. Brian Shirley started on the pole last night. He went the distance, leading all 40 laps. He was chased for a lot of the early part of the event by Dennis Erb Jr. Late in the going, Shannon Babb got up into the mix from 8th, and he actually ended up getting around Erb late for 2nd. So Shirley, the opening night winner over Babb and Erb. Tell me you haven't heard that before in a Summer Nationals race. It was not a great night for Ashton Winger. He started up front, but ended up out later with a flat tire. Winger does plan on running the whole thing from what I gather, and I'm sure he'll grab a few wins, I think, before this month is over. On the modified side, things got spicy between Tyler Nicely and Alan Weiser. Weiser ended up leading all 25 laps, but he was never able to get away from Nicely, who looked like he was probably just as fast. There was contact a few times, and at the checkered flag, it looked like things got a little narrow up top for Nicely. There was some gesturing and theatrics after the checkered flag, and the official margin of victory was 32 thousandths of a second. Hopefully this kind of intensity keeps up all month long. I think this might be fun to watch, this modified deal. You know, pretty wide open, no Nick Hoffman. That means there's plenty of opportunities for some of these other guys to rise up and win some of these shows. Next up for the Summer Nationals is Kankakee tonight. If you can't get there, you can watch it live on Dirt Vision. USAC National Sprint Cars were scheduled to be at Bridgeport last night, but rain during the day doomed the show. The night was eventually canceled. Racing shifts to Big Diamond tonight. I know there were some folks not pleased with how things played out last night with track work and how, you know, the cancellation went. And I think it's an interesting comparison to what we saw earlier this week at Wayne County. To race or not to race, kind of always this question on these days. Tanner Thorson won the last trip to Big Diamond in 2021. Tonight's USAC show can be watched live on Flow. If you're a West Coast sprint car fan, a big couple of weeks of Winged 410 racing gets rolling tonight. NARC Series is at Southern Oregon Speedway today before stops at Douglas County, Willamette, and Grays Harbor through Sunday. Then next week, it's Dirt Cup time at Skagit. The finale next Saturday night pays a very nice $62,000 to the winner. Through the first 8 races of the season, Corey Day holds a slight 8-point advantage over Dominic Scelzi in the standings. But guys like Justin Sanders, Justin Cox, Bud Kading all remain in the mix. Day and Scelzi each have 3 wins, while Cox and Colby Copeland have 1 each. When you bring together the top guys from California, Oregon, Washington, I think we should be in for some good racing here coming up. These next several nights of action are live on Flow if you can stay up that late and if you want to tune in. At Creek County tonight, the ASCS National Tour kicks off three-race weekend. They've got stops at Humboldt and 81 also coming up Friday and Saturday. Seth Bergman leads Jason Martin in the championship, and all 3 races this week are 4,000 to win and 400 to start. Series owner Terry Maddox has also got a bunch of 5,000 to win and 500 to start shows through the summer as well, as he continues to try and push for better. Through 8 races so far in 2023, Martin leads with 4 wins, but Bergman has an incredible average finish of 2.25. He hasn't finished worse than 3rd all year. It's hard to imagine he can keep that pace up, but there's no doubt he's been really fast. So far this year, 75 drivers have attempted an ASCS show. If you aren't headed out there, Racing Dirt has the live stream for the ASCS. Still no word on when the ASCS might return to Flow Racing. And in Wisconsin, the USMTS Modifieds are at Cedar Lake this weekend for the 3-night 24th annual Masters. $3,000 to win tonight, $5,000 on Friday, and $11,000 to the winner on Saturday. Derek Ramirez is the defending event winner, but points leader Rodney Sanders has won at Cedar Lake 7 times in the past, and I think this could be a chance, a really strong chance for him to extend his points lead over Jason Hughes and Dan Ebert. Also on the program are Super Late Models and USRA Late Models. Action starts tonight at 7, and this one will also be live on Racing Dirt. That's it for today's daily. Drop by DirtTracker.com today to check out the streaming schedule and hit up the analytics section to set those fantasy lineups for later. Hope you guys have a good Thursday out there. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.